Hey everybody, welcome to this week's edition of Title Scoop. So this week we're going to talk about the title monitoring services that seem to be on TV and you might hear ads on the radio. And the reason we're going to talk about them is I've had some agents who have actually reached out and they have had some realtors who have really been pushing the title monitoring services over getting a title insurance policy. So we're just going to talk briefly about what these title monitoring services say they do, and then also what you can do to sort of combat it or to really educate the consumers or the realtors if this is something that comes up in a conversation on a transaction that you have. So if you haven't heard of these services, they go by a lot of different names. You could probably just put title monitoring services in and you probably have a whole lot of stuff come up. And basically what they say is that after you purchase a property, they're going to monitor your property monthly and they will alert you if there is any fraud that happens. So maybe there's a fraudulent deed, a fraudulent mortgage, and they're going to alert you. Now, the kicker with that is it really is just an alert. From what I have found, most of them do nothing else beyond just saying, hey, by the way, there's a fraudulent deed on your property. You probably need to hire an attorney to take care of that. So that's just one thing. And we're going to go over at the end just the things to really discuss if these become an issue. You might be questioning, I mean, the one thing that I said is like, how often does this happen? I've literally never heard of it since I've been in the industry where someone would fraudulently sell a property or fraudulently convey a property. I really haven't seen it much at all, maybe once, but it was a strange situation that I don't think would be happening regularly. So I actually did pull a little research, and I found the FBI did a study a few years ago and found 0.0001% of roughly 87 million US citizens are the victim of fraudulent conveyances. So not a huge number. This probably isn't going to happen to most people, but the way these ads are portrayed, it seems like it's happening every single day and it's a big concern. So I think that if you have this come up, again, just making sure that people understand really what title insurance covers and really what the risk is for them if they're concerned that something may happen after they purchase the property. If you really think down of how this might work, it's probably going to be someone who would want to find a property. It probably needs to be free and clear of liens, right? Because if I'm going to try to get a mortgage on it, I don't want a mortgage to be there or a lien. I also, if I'm trying to sell it, I don't want, because I don't want to pay it off. So I might focus on the elderly. I might focus on, where someone who's owned their house for a long time, because then I know, oh, they don't have any liens and this might be easier. So again, that's what the FBI has found, is this is often targeted at elderly people. But again, it would be a lot more difficult. If they're trying to get a mortgage, I mean, think about it. Think about if you bought a house, how much stuff you had to provide to your lender. So if I find a property, I forge a deed to myself, and then I say I'm going to get a mortgage, I then also have to get a fake ID. I have to have the social security number. I have to have fake employee documents. I have to probably have tax returns, and it just becomes really complex. And with the way cyber fraud has gone, for me, I find it to be a little funny, because I'm like, well, wouldn't it be easier to hack into an email if you're really a fraudster than to try to steal someone's property by a forged deed? So again, I don't think it's something that happens frequently, but the consumer doesn't understand that, so they buy into the fact that this is a huge concern. So just something to definitely talk to them about. So if, again, you have this come up and they're saying, well, this provides coverage for after I buy my property, check in your state to see if you have an enhanced policy or if you have a homeowner's policy, because those do actually cover some future events like forged deeds, for instance. So if you don't know if you have the enhanced coverage, let us know, or enhanced policies, let us know. We are happy to tell you whether your state's covered. And we can also give you a list of the things that are covered. If you read through a homeowner's policy or an enhanced policy, you can see there's a whole lot of things that are added that are not on a standard policy. But that's just something really to urge if they're saying they want to do this title monitoring. And if it's because they're worried about a forged deed, maybe say, hey, for a little bit more on your policy, you can get this. Again, it's not available in all states, but if it is, it's a good way for you to sell. So just to kind of recap, obviously tell them title insurance is a one-time premium, explain to them what it covers and what it doesn't, and compare the difference between what it covers versus a title monitoring service. If someone really wants to monitor their property, show them how. Most of the time you can see it on the county website for free. So just say, hey, I'll show you how to do it on your own. It'll save you $15 a month. Educate them on the difference between title monitoring and alerting and what it really is covering, right? If they're just alerting you, That doesn't mean it's covering anything. It may just mean you're going to have to hire an attorney if for some reason this happens. Again, educate them on what the enhanced policy or the homeowner's policy covers, because again, it might be what they're needing. And again, I always like to just tell them forged deeds aren't really a valid conveyance. Legally, the owner is the only person who can convey the property. So a forged deed is literally that. It's a forged deed that has to be taken care of. So with that, I think that's it for the week. If you guys have questions on this, or if you want to learn more about enhanced or homeowners policies, let me know. Otherwise, we'll see you next week.